like the best of times and yet the worst of times. We are seeing it everywhere. Tariff wars, the rise of AI, unemployment issues, underemployment, and even poverty. As the situation unfolds and new obstacles hit us daily, what do we feel? More fear, frustration, and stress. And then the questions hit. How can we possibly succeed in all this? Where are the real solutions? How do we even find the right path? Building your brands, building your online presence by leveraging social media platforms. It can all seem impossible, like too much to handle. But here's the truth. The situation isn't just challenging, it is demanding. It's demanding you and me to step up and claim our unique value, to set up a digital presence that actually works, to show up authentically and connect, to stack up strategies for real growth, and ultimately to stay up strong and impactful, no matter what comes next. This is the blueprint for thriving. Are you ready to meet today's demands and conquer tomorrow? This transformative summit is completely free to attend. Don't miss out. Secure your spots for the Step Up, Set Up, Show Up, Stack Up, and Stay Up Summit.
Innovative instigation. Innovative instigation.
Greetings, everyone. This is 𝗧𝗵𝗿𝗄𝗧 of Innovative Instigation Enterprise, and right now it's 8:45 on our local time, and we're streaming from LinkedIn Live and YouTube as well. And well, the weather is a bit chilly. You can see on our side. I don't know how it is wherever you guys are watching us from. And we are back here to embark on the Step Up, Set Up, Show Up, Stack Up, and Stay Up Summit. And we are taking a tour where we are going to be finding ways on how we can elevate our brands, our careers, and businesses, leveraging social media. And while we're at it, I'd like to say thank you, first of all, for coming on here and being with us. We'd like to say also, please like, share this event so that it can benefit other people as well. And then also just get ready to be commenting. We want to talk to you. This is a conversation that we are all having together so that we can actually find ways to do this elevation that we need for ourselves, right? And but before we get into it, we're just going to take a short break. And I just wanted to say one more thing. I'm flying 2 flags today by myself. I'm flying the Botswana flag for me, and I'm flying the Eswatini flag for my partner. So thank you for joining us. We'll be back after a short break.
Innovative instigation.
Feels like the best of times and yet the worst of times. We are seeing it everywhere. Tariff wars, the rise of AI, unemployment issues, underemployment, and even poverty. As the situation unfolds and new obstacles hit us daily, what do we feel? More fear, frustration, and stress. And then the questions hit. How can we possibly succeed in all this? Where are the real solutions? How do we even find the right path? Building your brands, building your online presence by leveraging social media platforms. It can all seem impossible, like too much to handle. But here's the truth. The situation isn't just challenging, it is demanding. It's demanding you and me to step up and claim our unique value, to set up a digital presence that actually works, to show up authentically and connect, to stack up strategies for real growth, and ultimately to stay up strong and impactful, no matter what comes next. This is the blueprint for thriving. Are you ready to meet today's demands and conquer tomorrow? This transformative summit is completely free to attend. Don't miss out. Secure your spots for the Step Up, Set Up, Show Up, Stack Up, and Stay Up Summit.
Innovative instigation.
Hello. Welcome back. This is 𝗦𝗂𝗫𝗄𝗧 of Innovative Instigation Enterprise. And I'll still say again, the time is 10 to 9, our local time. And we're streaming in on the LinkedIn platform and also on YouTube. And as I've said, we're back with day 5 of the Step Up, Set Up, Show Up, Stack Up, and Stay Up Summit. And we are here to find ways to help ourselves, even us included, the ones who are hosting, to elevate our brands, our careers, and businesses, leveraging social media. So we would like to also be getting ready to usher in our first speaker today, and we have more than one tour guide. I said we're taking a tour. Hello. So we would like you to say hello to them. Hi, Precious. Hi,
Sophie.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi.
And we'd just like you to just introduce yourselves, both of you. Just introduce yourselves. We'll start with Precious. Say hi, Precious. Your name, where you're from.
Hi everyone, I'm Precious Adeolu. I'm a community manager and I'm from Nigeria, and I'm so happy to be here tonight.
Okay, great. Pleased to have you. Now, Deborah.
Hi everyone, I'm Adeolu 𝗬𝗲𝗏, and I'm a data analyst and a STEM instructor. Nice to meet you all.
And you are joining us from where, but you are from where? Let them know, because we want them to appreciate
so
this.
I'm joining. Thank you. So I'm joining from Ghana, but I'm originally from Nigeria.
Wow, this is exciting, guys. This is the power of social media. We're taking leverage of social media, and that's how we can connect with each other. So, yes, we're just going to have a quick round of applause, and then we'll be back and diving in where Deborah is the one who's going to be leading our first presentation. So, yes, you'll join us. This is us clapping for Deborah. Woo!
Innovative instigation.
Okay, now, Deborah, you can now get started with us, and I know that you're going to be talking to us about, I'm just talking in general, not naming the title. You're the one who's going to tell us that. You're just going to be talking to us about enabling security and earning trust and building relationships, all about data protection and all of that, because we need to think about all these things while we're leveraging this social media. We need to be trustworthy, and nobody can be building anything without relationships in the first place. So, yes, and yesterday's session was just basically highlighting the importance of creating an external database, that even though we're leveraging social media, you want to have, your newsletter, you want to build your database and all of that. And so that's why now we then continue the conversation with what Deborah is going to be speaking to us about. It all makes sense and it builds on. So it's to give a 360 or a holistic view of this whole perspective about how do we leverage social media to elevate our brands. On that note, we'll be having you, Deborah. Take it away. Thank you.
Thank you too. Okay, I don't know. Do I have to share my slides here or? It's
No. We'll share the slides for you. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They'll be
So
able to see.
okay, good. So I can start, right?
Yes, you can get started and
Can
you
I
can have a
start?
look. Yes.
All right. Okay. Hi everyone. Nice to meet you all. Wherever you're watching me from, it's greatly appreciated. I'm happy you're here, and I'm also happy to be here. It's a very exciting topic I'm talking about today, and it's also dear to me as well. Yes, anything data, I'm involved. Yeah, all right. Okay, so before my slides are being shared, I'm just going to give an overview of what my topic is all about. Yes, so my topic is staying up through community connections and the power and leverage of enabling security and trust and building relationships while also protecting data and sustainable brand growth. All right. So, as I said earlier, I'm a data analyst. I'm a STEM instructor, very passionate about data, trust, and community growth. I'm also very happy for being here. Thank you, Innovative Enterprise. I hope I got the name right. Thank you very much. I'm really thrilled to be here, really thrilled to pass on my knowledge to the world. Okay, so one thing I hold very dear to myself is the power of secure, trusted relationships built through intentional community. I believe in doing things intentionally. I believe that anything you build on trust will definitely work. All right, okay. So let's get straight into what I do. So now I want to give you a reason why this conversation actually matters. All right. I believe that people trust people, not just platforms, not just pages. All right. I believe that if you set an energy, if you set clarity, people will definitely know what you have for them. And I also believe that when you share a personal story, a moment where you realize the importance of community, importance of trust in the digital world, it actually shows how intentional you are. It also builds a very instant connection. I don't know whether you've been in a state where you share something very dear to yourself, in community, and immediately they are like, oh, I experienced this, I experienced that, because it was filled with so much energy, it was filled with so much clarity. All right. Okay. So still talking about why this conversation matters. Okay. So why it matters. It also, as a community, it's also your brand. Your brand needs to survive. Yes, your brand won't survive without you building that trust, building that particular intentionality between your people. Okay, so now I believe that most communities survive because they are able to authentically communicate their stories. I also believe that the intersection between security, trust, and relationship is the future of what growth. So now my question to you all is, how many of you are able to currently build and manage a community? How many of you can intentionally build and manage a community? So based on what I've said, I believe that you build a community through clarity, through energy, all right? Okay, and also I think there are three forces I would dare when it comes to building a very sustainable brand, and that is security, trust, and relationships. All right. So now when we talk about security, creating an environment where people feel safe. Are you creating an environment where your people feel safe, where your community feels safe? It goes beyond marketing. It goes beyond, I feel it's all about focusing on listening, empathy, sharing your values. When we talk about security, we believe that if people don't feel safe, they won't stay, they won't speak up. All right. So now, when we talk about trust, trust is very fragile. It's built in layers and it can be broken in seconds. I mean, when we talk about trust, it has a very deep meaning. That's why I first of all said it's very fragile. That means it can break anytime, any second. So now, let's focus on trust. Let me explain trust more. So let's imagine that, okay, you have a brand, right? And let's picture trust as a digital handshake. So it happens to everybody every time that people will have to reach out to you before they can know that, okay, this is what you can offer, this is what you have, this is what you are made up of. Okay, but there is a level of trust they already have. But once they know that your brand is worth interacting with, that is when they know that, okay, yes, we are where we are supposed to be. That is where the relationship starts. That is where we tend to feel safe. That is where we tend to speak up. All right. Okay. So that is where I talk about the core three pillars of a sustainable community. All right. So I think followed up by what a community is. All right. So a community is a valuable asset. I mean, I feel it's even the most valuable asset. When you talk about community, it's not just an audience, it's an ecosystem. All right. I believe that the power of brand lies in your insights, in your organic generation, your organic marketing. It believes in it generates from a safe space of engagement. All right. So I feel you won't go so far without people that can actually trust you, people that you can really carry along, people that understand what you're made up of. All right. Okay. So let's think of it like this. So we have a garden. Let's think of a community like a garden, and probably we know that a community interacts, grows, contributes. All right. So as I said, a garden can grow without you putting your efforts, without you knowing that, okay, it needs this particular nutrients, it needs this at this time, it needs water to, it needs sunlight, it needs this, it needs that. So now, as an audience that listens, I believe that community interacts, it grows, it contributes. Okay. As I said earlier, when we talk about generated content, you can also say that, okay, you as a person, it's like you become like someone giving something for free. But the thing is, who is actually picking what you have? Who is actually understanding what you have? Who is actually growing from what you're giving out? So now, a support comes in when you advocate for your community. Support comes in when you advocate that, okay, my community is listeners, people that interact, people that contribute, people that grow. And I believe that a follower watches and also a community builds with you. A follower watches, but a community actually builds with you. Yes, okay. So now, I think what I can also say is, I think I mentioned it earlier, if you really want to go far, you need to go with a community that learns from you, community that interacts with you, community that grows with you. Okay. So I mean, this is the part where people are probably waiting on. That is the part of security. Okay. So security is a language of respect. All right, it's a language of respect. I believe when we see our president with their convoys, we tend to like give so much respect to them because there's so much security around them. All right. So I believe, as I said, security is a language of respect. Okay. So now let me go deep down into a field I really admire when it comes to policies, privacy policies, your consents, when it comes to your intellectual property, secure platforms, all right, encrypted platforms. So when I say encrypted platform, let me break it down into layman words. So when we talk about encrypted platform, talk about, so probably we can even use, I mean, Google Forms, type forms. I don't know if anyone has used type forms. Okay, you feel comfortable using them because nobody has access to it. Nobody except yourself has access unless you say, okay, let me give it out, let me share it. Who can edit? Who can do this? Who can do that? All right. So a further explanation on the language of respect and security, as I said earlier, is that most people, or let me say, okay, since I mentioned privacy policies earlier, I think I'll hit on that before probably I hit on the language of respect. So when it comes to privacy policies, I believe that people do not read. Okay, people don't read. So let me hit on a part where people do not before I'm like people do. Okay, so privacy policies, people do not read. Okay, you feel so comfortable working on a platform, but you're not reaching, you're not actually reading. All right. So I think people or your data will be very respected. Whatever you put in will be
Innovative instigation.
Hi again. Yes, we're just trusting to have our speaker back. I think we're having some kind of a network issue, like a disruption. Yes, but yes, she's been talking to us about the importance of trust and community and, you know, taking cognizance or taking thought about how to make sure that that is in place. And she was also just talking about how most of the time people don't necessarily read policies even as they're engaging, but I can't talk too much about that. The only thing I can say is that she made mention of, you know, the type of things that you set in place to allow people to feel safe as they're interacting with you, such that they can be part of a community and they can actually participate, right? So she gave an example of Google form and a type form. I don't know, a lot of people, maybe they're more familiar with a Google form. I'm not sure, but I know both. And how when you're being asked questions, you know that that information goes to whoever created the form, and then that's that, unless they actually explicitly gave it, you know, to say that, okay, it can be edited or what. Most of the time, the one who created it is the one who, is controlling that. But she's talking about how important it is to also, work on the security and make sure that you or think of your community also as an asset, right? Your community as an asset for your brand, that you're not it shouldn't just be transactional, like you're just taking. You are relating with people, you want them to grow with you, you want feedback from them, you want them to feel at ease, you want participation, all of that, right? And that is all about relating, which is relationship. And nobody can be able to be relating with you if you in the first place didn't put certain things in place to ensure that that can be the case. Nobody can feel safe if they don't feel that they trust you and all of that. But while we're waiting, we'll just take a little bit of a break so that we can get back and continue with the presentation.
Innovative instigation.
Feels like the best of times and yet the worst of times. We are seeing it everywhere. Tariff wars, the rise of AI, unemployment issues, underemployment, and even poverty. As the situation unfolds and new obstacles hit us daily, what do we feel? More fear, frustration, and stress. And then the questions hit. How can we possibly succeed in all this? Where are the real solutions? How do we even find the right path? Building your brands, building your online presence by leveraging social media platforms. It can all seem impossible, like too much to handle. But here's the truth. The situation isn't just challenging, it is demanding. It's demanding you and me to step up and claim our unique value, to set up a digital presence that actually works, to show up authentically and connect, to stack up strategies for real growth, and ultimately to stay up strong and impactful, no matter what comes next. This is the blueprint for thriving. Are you ready to meet today's demands and conquer tomorrow? This transformative summit is completely free to attend. Don't miss out. Secure your spots for the Step Up, Set Up, Show Up, Stack Up, and Stay Up Summit.
Innovative instigation. Innovative instigation.
Hi everyone, we're back and we're just going to be continuing with the conversation. And I was just giving you a recap of some of the things that our speaker Deborah was talking about. And yes, we're looking at the whole community and how you need to be intentional in cultivating it. Our speaker also spoke about how it's like a garden, right? Interesting enough that I'm using the word cultivate, because even with a garden, for you to be even growing the garden and building it and all of that, there is a cultivation that actually happens with the soil. There is a nurturing that needs to take place. There's watering and all of that. So yes, of course, as much as we're talking about people in this case, for that to happen, there needs to be, safety. There needs to be people feeling that they are safe, knowing it. It's not just feeling, but there are things that you need to do and put in place to make sure that is the case. And even as I'm saying this, I just want to bring back some of the things that we spoke about even before today, that we had a speaker on day 3, right? She spoke about the whole having domains and your credibility and all of that, and being able to have your own sort of space that is about you. You own it, and people know and recognize that, okay, this is your domain, and that's part of it, right? And then even as we're talking about that, we are still saying that you have to make sure that you're building around it. You are getting trusted and consistently showing up in that domain, in that space, in that area, in all the places actually that you are showing up, because then you integrate it. It's not just solely your LinkedIn, it's not entirely just Facebook, and all of this, you are transparent about it so that people can feel safe. They can feel that, okay, I can trust this person. And then we also link it to some of the other things that we have heard. We have heard about storytelling and authenticity. Those are some of the things that we do know that they contribute to that connection, for you to feel that, okay, I want to be part of this community or this brand, and it doesn't just happen, right? And then people can feel that they can be with you and grow with you, and yeah, you just need to be transparent. Even if things are not okay, you are able to say things are not okay. Just before, as I was preparing for today's stream, I'm just giving an example of a brand that I think a lot of us know. Toyota, for example, had some issues with a particular, I think it was a model or what, that was giving issues, and then they knew that there's a problem with it, and instead of just saying, okay, those cars that we've already sold, they're sold and we're just thinking about just making the money, they recalled all of those vehicles that were purchased so that they can work on them, and they gave people back their money. That was an example of a brand showing that, what, this is about our integrity. And they made a huge loss. They know that they were making a huge loss, but they knew that their integrity that was more important. It shouldn't just be about, okay, I want to just make money, or I just want to get these connections, or I just want to make this transaction, and I don't care about the impact or the effect that I'm having on people that I'm interacting with. That is something that is a sure recipe of disaster if you're not thinking about community, because Deborah was speaking about how community is an asset, and even made example that it's an ecosystem, meaning that there's a lot more to it than just that, oh, it's just community and I have a whole lot of people who are whatever inside my group, wherever you're hosting the group, right? And I'll just use the word group to refer to community. Then she made and she spoke about speaking a language of respect. She even spoke about how, when you're talking about, when you think about the president, for example, and how the president has entourage, that entourage, connotes that respect and security around it, that you as well as a leader, because you're the one who is in charge of that particular brand, has to think about these things as well. You have to think about whether you are respecting your audience, and that respect is communicated by the transparency. It's communicated by, being trustworthy, and trustworthy is well, there are a lot of things that bring about trust. I'll talk about from our previous discussion just to help you remember, because we're on this journey. Remember that our day 3 speaker spoke about trust triggers and, things that you put in place, like having guarantees and testimonials. Those are trust triggers that she spoke about. Those are things that you put in place because it shows that you are actually valuing the input and experiences of those people that you have worked with, and so much so that you are sharing their feedback, right? And then also, if I go back to our first speaker of day 1, which was Gifty, she spoke about things about having that integrity and showing up with that and caring about it, knowing that this is how I want to interact, how I want to show up, and this is what I stand for, whether people are watching me or whether they are not watching me, and that is important. And in the same way, you have to look at the fact that with community, you'll be dealing with people's information, so you have to protect it. That's the key thing here. You can't be, just doing your own thing and saying, I can get money out of this, and you don't care about how you end up affecting other people just because you have certain type of details about them, all for the sake of the fact that you have whatever audience. And I'll say audience, but she said Deborah said we should look at it more like community, because community is more like you're looking at it more meaningfully than just to say audience, right? And audience sounds maybe distant compared to if you use the word community. And then because she says with community, you're participating and you're contributing, whereas a follower is just watching. I'm just reminding you and then taking it back to what we already heard in the previous days. Yeah, so we're going to just take a break as well to just check on our speaker again, and then we'll be back.
Innovative instigation.
Feels like the best of times and yet the worst of times. We are seeing it everywhere. Tariff wars, the rise of AI, unemployment issues, underemployment, and even poverty. As the situation unfolds and new obstacles hit us daily, what do we feel? More fear, frustration, and stress. And then the questions hit. How can we possibly succeed in all this? Where are the real solutions? How do we even find the right path? Building your brands, building your online presence by leveraging social media platforms. It can all seem impossible, like too much to handle. But here's the truth. The situation isn't just challenging, it is demanding. It's demanding you and me to step up and claim our unique value, to set up a digital presence that actually works, to show up authentically and connect, to stack up strategies for real growth, and ultimately to stay up strong and impactful, no matter what comes next. This is the blueprint for thriving. Are you ready to meet today's demands and conquer tomorrow? This transformative summit is completely free to attend. Don't miss out. Secure your spots for the Step Up, Set Up, Show Up, Stack Up, and Stay Up Summit.
Innovative instigation. Innovative instigation.
Hi, and we're right back, and we're trying to get back into the discussion that we're having with our speaker, Deborah, and the time is 21:22. That's 22 minutes after 9 on our time. Our speakers are in different time zones. We are actually ahead of them. They're still in the earlier part of the night. Yes. So yes, we just want to regroup and go back to that. Our speaker Deborah is in Ghana, and yeah, she'll be joining us to continue the discussion about being secure and all of that, trust and everything in community. So yes, we're bringing Deborah back. Okay, well, give her about maybe 2 minutes or so. Okay, so okay.
Innovative instigation.
Into her, but yeah, something is happening there. So we, in the meantime, we'll bring the second speaker in, so that, because she's still talking about community as well, she's just speaking about it from a different perspective. So we'll have Precious come in to speak to us. Hi, Precious. Hi again, of course. Hi.
Hi again.
Yes.
So good to be here.
So lovely to be.
Thank you so much.
It's so lovely to have Precious. She's speaking to us all the way from Nigeria. Wow, power of, leveraging social media.
Innovative instigation.
Yeah. Okay. Round of applause.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I want to be sure I'm heard. I want to be sure I'm being heard.
Okay.
I want to be sure I'm being heard.
We can definitely hear you. We can definitely hear you.
Can I go ahead? Is my slide being shared?
No. Just wait. We'll let you know shortly, like in a minute.
Okay, all right.
Innovative instigation.
Feels like the best of times and yet the worst of times. We are seeing it everywhere. Tariff wars, the rise of AI, unemployment issues, underemployment, and even poverty. As the situation unfolds and new obstacles hit us daily, what do we feel? More fear, frustration, and stress. And then the questions hit. How can we possibly succeed in all this? Where are the real solutions? How do we even find the right path? Building your brands, building your online presence by leveraging social media platforms. It can all seem impossible, like too much to handle. But here's the truth. The situation isn't just challenging, it is demanding. It's demanding you and me to step up and claim our unique value, to set up a digital presence that actually works, to show up authentically and connect, to stack up strategies for real growth, and ultimately to stay up strong and impactful, no matter what comes next. This is the blueprint for thriving. Are you ready to meet today's demands and conquer tomorrow? This transformative summit is completely free to attend. Don't miss out. Secure your spots for the Step Up, Set Up, Show Up, Stack Up and Stay Up Summit.
Innovative instigation.
Hi. So we're back, and we're just going to proceed as we have said we would. So we will ask Precious to speak, and then yes, then we'll go back to Deborah again when she's stable. Yeah.
All right. Hi, everyone. Please, I just want to make sure, confirm that you are hearing me and you can see me.
Yes, we can see you. Let them also comment. Say, put a thumbs up. You guys that are on, who are watching us, put a thumbs up. Let us know that you can say, you can see Precious. Yes. And
Okay. All right.
okay, you can continue.
All right. Hello. All right, thank you. Hello, everyone. Once again, my name is Precious Adeolu, and I am a Web2 community manager. I like to specify because many times when you hear community management, what comes to your mind is Web3, but there is also community management in Web2. So I am a Web2 community manager, and today I'll be talking on staying up and creating leverage through community, which is the adventure of curating spaces, fostering engagement, and building bonds for sustainable brand growth. So firstly, I'm going to ask you, what is networking? What is networking? When you hear networking, what comes to your mind? What do you think about when you hear networking? Networking is about building relationships that open doors. It's not just about making collaborations with just anybody you see or anyone that looks like it, but the ones that are specifically meant to open doors. That is networking. So let me ask you a DM. Let me ask you a question rather. Have you ever sent a DM that's changed everything for you? That is networking. When I first joined LinkedIn, started getting serious on LinkedIn, I made a mistake where I sent connect requests to just anybody and everybody. I felt like it was all about curating connections. Let me have a lot of followers. I just kept sending connect requests to anybody and everybody. Then I'll see that I make a post and nobody's engaging, not knowing that my network was weak. Some of them were not even online for about 3 months, 4 months, but I just kept sending them connect requests because I wasn't specific or intentional about the kind of people I was networking with until I began to do it right. So networking is not just about swapping contacts. It's about real connection. And I've seen a lot of benefits of networking the right way. It helps you find opportunities, collaborators, clients, and can happen at events, online communities, in DMs, or even in the comment section. As somebody I'm currently speaking with who is a CEO of a real estate, and we found each other through the comment section. Okay, so it can happen anywhere. It is how you put yourself out there that determines how people will want to relate with you. So in networking, you have to be sure that you have value to offer, because if you don't have value to offer, nobody's going to give you value back. So one good introduction from a WhatsApp group can lead to a paid gig or even a partnership. So recently, I saw somebody making a post on LinkedIn that, okay, he was holding one-on-one sessions with people who want to grow their brand. So I sent him a text that if you are interested in scaling your one-on-one sessions to community setting, I help in managing that kind of thing. He's been looking for how to do that, but the management part of it is what has been giving him problems. So me coming in on board to collaborate with him just changed the whole game. What if I didn't send that DM? What if I did not send him a message? What if I just overlooked the opportunity to network with him? And now we're collaborating and doing something big together. So that is networking. It's building relationships with potential people that could probably be your colleague, your collaborator, your investor, or even your client. That is networking. So secondly, let's talk about community building, since we are looking at the effect of both networking and community building to sustain your brand growth. Community building is creating a space where people can connect, grow, and support each other around a shared interest or a goal.
Oh, hi. So we are back. Well, I've been here all along, by the way. And we are busy talking about networking, the importance of it. That's another aspect.
If you just scroll down to my post, you will see 2 likes, 3 likes, at most 15 likes for posts I just, and I didn't really care because I was not particular about the relationship. I wanted to just show up because someone must show up. So I wasn't sure of what I was doing. But then that's
All right, guys, you can see that we're having a little bit of network connectivity issues, but she's just talking about, as you are networking, how to carry yourself, how to conduct yourself, commenting with intentionality, understanding that even when you're commenting, it's just another way of having a conversation as you would in person. You know, you need to think about it. If you're talking to someone, you know, be real, be authentic, and try to find common points there so that it's not some useless, you know, just speaking for the sake of speaking, because people can see when you're not even being genuine. And you need to see how you've got a shared goal. So you need to find what are your shared goals, or even if it's not even a shared goal, just taking interest to know that, okay, how can I help this person? What are they currently working on? When you take interest in someone in that way and see how you can add value, if you come from a place like that, then it always makes the networking actually more meaningful, because you get to learn about the other person, what they're working on, and you can be able to see that, okay, it's not always just about, okay, I want clients. We know we want to make money and all of that, but when you network and you actually treat people just having interest in them, genuine interest, and seeing how you can help, you'll be surprised at how you're going to find opportunities even for yourself, just by being interested in the other person, and then seeing how you can connect them even in your own network. So it helps to try and find out that, okay, what are you about, what do you do, what are you currently working on, and then how can you contribute to that. And when you're networking, you are networking for various things, not just for clients and not just for making transactions, but you're also looking for partnerships and looking for people who can contribute or collaborate with you, right? And also not just that, you can also be looking for referrals as well, recommendations. So, but first of all, for you to be able to recommend someone, you have to have built some kind of relationship, right? For you to know about them and say, okay, I'm comfortable in connecting these people because this is what they're about. And interestingly enough, you can actually build a brand just about connecting people, and there are various ways of just doing that, right? And so it's very good that we're actually learning about this. And yeah, it also, networking requires skills, eh? Quite a number of skills. It's interpersonal skills. You know, you need to be able to talk to people. You need to be able to okay, the talking part is also communication, but that the interpersonal part is just knowing that you are relating from heart to heart, you know, because if you're genuine with someone, they can tell when you're being genuine. When you're not being genuine, someone can tell that, this person is just about transaction or whatever it is that they're interested in. And we need to learn intentionally how to network. I know that we don't actually get taught how to do that, but we often get told that, oh, your network is your net worth. Now, how do you build that network? Oh my, this is what Precious is also teaching us about, you know, but she's teaching about it in terms of her angle, looking at, you know, certain platforms. She spoke about Web 2 and Web 3, and she was busy explaining what that is, that you can actually be using that. She's talking about WhatsApp as a platform. So those people that you associate with, they become your leverage. They are your advantage. You know, I don't know if you've heard the saying, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. You know, that also is something that determines what you get access to. And sometimes your associations are the things, are what can actually be bringing you down. It can be draining you. So community is quite something strategic. It's advantageous on so many levels. You know, it's a place for support. It's a place for interaction. It's a place for, if it's curated well and everything, it allows for growth, achievement, feedback. There's so many things that you can do when you're developing community. If I'm even to link it back to what Deborah was also talking to us about when she likened it to a garden. You know, before she got disrupted by the network. And so social media is facilitating, or it's enabling global networking. You know, it's allowing us to network, but we're doing it using different things. Ooh. So Precious is back, and so we'll continue. Yay! Hi everyone. Hi Precious.
Innovative instigation.
Can you hear us?
Yes, yes.
So yeah, we had to take a little bit of a break to make sure.
Okay, can I go on, or I should
Yes,
wait?
continue. Continue. Please continue. Hi. Can you hear us? Yeah, continue, please. I think you were talking about, can you hear us? I think you were talking about somewhere about interacting on WhatsApp in terms of, you know, how you're the networking part and being intentional about how you do it and everything. Like you were giving an example. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
No problem. Let's just continue with the presentation, like where you left off. We can see you definitely,
Okay.
and we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. I should just to start.
No, just continue where you
Or
left
let me
off.
know when to start.
You can start with networking when you were
Okay,
talking about
alright.
networking. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mentioned about networking. It's beyond just getting people to know you for nothing. It's having value that you intend to give to your community, and in turn receiving value, because it's actually a give and take thing. Okay, it's not just you giving. Yes, you give before you take, but it's also about you receiving, because you cannot do life alone. Okay, and that's where community building comes in. Deborah said it's beyond audience, and I totally agree that your community is beyond your audience. And for today's summit, I'll be talking in respect to exclusive communities. Well, there's one that has to do with your followers, right? But there's one that also has to do with your loyal followers, your loyal users. So I'll be talking about how to leverage exclusive communities for brand growth. For example, a Telegram group for clients, for support, referrals, or repeat sales. And I'll give an example of something I found early last year. I love dresses a lot. I love dresses, right? So I went on Instagram to search for vendors who were selling dresses, and I discovered a particular lady who don't take orders on her IG. All she does is to post dresses that are available on her IG, and she'll tell you, click this link to order. So I went through the link and found myself in her WhatsApp group chat. And the funny thing was that there were about 1,000+ people who were in that group chat with her. So what she does is that a particular day, she's posting the available dresses. The first person to comment takes the dress or buys the dress, right? And beyond that, every other day she gives them tips how to step out with confidence, fashion sense, styling sense, make sure that they engage. She sends polls, they talk, listen to her. That kind of person. Everybody on that page, if they want to get a dress, they think about her first before going to another person, because she has put herself in their mind. Before you think of another, I said she doesn't sell it, but before you go to another person, you already have this person in mind, because what? She engages with you. That's the power of community. Networking brings them in. Community makes them to stay, help them to get retained. So this is why I'm leveraging on community, because it helps you to retain your clients or your customers. Imagine a real estate company, and they have a community for new home buyers, for maybe Nigerians in diaspora, or just come to tell your story about renting houses, maybe in Lagos or in Accra or in Botswana. Everybody wants to talk about what they've gone through, even if it's just to make jest or humor purpose, but they want to be there. Whenever they have somebody who wants to rent a space, they will remember you first because you put yourself in their mind. That is the power of community. So it's beyond just opening a group chat and put people there. No, there are things that go on in that community. So network plus community equals sustainable growth. These two work hand in hand. Networking brings new people in, community keeps them engaged. So a connected brand stays top of mind. I wrote here that you can go viral alone, but you stay relevant with people. And that's very true. You can decide to make one post today and it goes viral. You have millions of people that are liking the post. But to stay relevant, you need people to remember you. I made a post some days ago that you can cure your customers' amnesia with community. And community here is more than just group chats. There are things that happen, events, campaigns, ask me anything, gamification, because you want them to just keep remembering you. So you stay relevant over time with community. Example is Instagram Lives plus Telegram groups. You hold a webinar on Instagram Live, everybody loves it. Oh, they are hyped, they are pumped up. But after the webinar, what happens? What happens after the webinar? There's silence, there's cricket. But because you bring them into a space where they could pour out their hearts, they could relate to stories, ask questions, that alone helps to make your conversations better. Okay, so you can have a growth that is sustainable because you have a community, because you are building a community, and it varies. There are different ways to run community. It's not just for tech brands or startups only. No, it varies. Like I mentioned a fashion brand recently, it varies. There are different ways you could go about it. Okay, even if you're into NGO, non-governmental, non-profit, you can still have communities. You can start from campaigns, start from coupons, start from gift cards, you can start from events. Just do things that will make them to remember you. That's how you can retain yourself in their memory, and you can always keep coming back. This also helps to reduce your CAC. We call it customer acquisition costs. The amount you spend to do your advertisements, pay your sales team, it reduces because you have people who come back willingly because you've put them in a space where you keep talking to them. So how community supports customer journey? Communities matter before and after someone buys. They help people to trust your brand and feel supported. I was talking to a community manager some weeks ago. She just starting out, and she told me that she found a love for community when she was working as social media manager for a skincare brand. So instead of just posting every day about skincare troubles, types of skincare to get for your skin, she opened a group chat on IG group chats where women could come and talk about their troubles when it comes to their skin and even hygiene, ask questions. She said she almost turned to a therapist, and I was just laughing. Now, those kind of people, you've given them a space where they could be themselves. Because humans love relationships, right? So if they have anything they want to do that has to do with skincare, they think of you first because they have trusted you enough. So from lead to a buyer to a loyal fan, now they talk about you free of charge. You don't even have to tell them to. They already have events. Oh, they are posting your event at this particular campaign. We talked about this. We got this free of charge. They are now a loyal fan. A community is your customer service, your marketing team, and even your feedback loop. Now, this has to do with product-based community. This is my specialty. I partner with top tech and health tech startups to build communities, amplify impact, drive result and more revenue, right? So what I do as a community manager for tech startup is that I serve as a feedback loop between the users and the product team, because something beta testing, right? This is to test an almost finished product, probably an app or a website, to give feedback to the product team. Okay, this is what is left, what is meant to be corrected. So you get to have people who are using your product real time give you a feedback so you can get better at it, and nobody can beat you at that game, and it's all free of charge. You don't have to pay somebody to help you test it. They are already in your community. You're giving them value, engaging with them, answering their questions, and so on and so forth. So that way too, they get to use your product and give you a feedback. Okay, I had a glitch in this particular part. You know that, okay, it will be solved. Oh, I love this part. Okay, you're supposed to continue more in that part where they love. So that is a power of community. It gives you feedback on what you're doing best and how to go forward. Because without feedback or critique, you cannot move. But when you get critique from people, see when you are doing well, continue, expand it. You're not so good at this area. Okay, we're going to work on it. That is community. That is community. For example, people ask questions in a group and get fast answers. They are more likely to buy again. Definitely. Somebody like fashion brand I told you about. Somebody just asked, okay, I just got a pants trouser. It's blue in color, and I have an orange shirt. Does it go? They're already giving them answers. Okay, try this instead. Try that instead. You're already putting yourself in their mind. They will never have amnesia when it comes to your brand. They're going to be evangelists of your brand everywhere that they go to. That is the power of community to support customer journey. So, for community growth, how do you place yourself? Positioning for community growth. So, use community at every step, both the welcome, the nurture, and the celebrate. Don't wait till the end. Build as you grow. I'm always a fan of startups, a fan of things that are just starting. Honestly, when you get to scale so high, it begins to get boring for me. I like challenges. Let us build something. So community is best when you are just starting. Don't quit until you've grown so much before you start community. No, you have to have your founding members, people who are going to tell you the truth. Right? So, for example, you have brands that create WhatsApp or Telegram onboarding communities. They see higher engagement and satisfaction. Let me give you an example. Sometimes you post carousels and nobody's engaging on your post on IG. It happens, and you did all your best to design. You put all the expertise that you have. Nobody is engaging. Now, imagine you had people in a space where you could share that with, maybe a meme or a comic that relates to the post. Then you just let them go and give a feedback on the post we are having on our page. You don't even have to say that before they go to, make comments. I can tell how many comments I've made on IG this year. Maybe they're not up to 5 or 6 all through this year. But on group chat, I'm very active. So this is my person, this is my people. I want to respond, right? I want to respond. I want to give them feedback. I want to celebrate them. Okay, so use welcome messaging, voice notes, live Q&As. Let them ask questions. One thing I realized is that your members should be the one to lead the engagement, not even you. As a community moderator, I realized it, that if you're just about what you want to say to them, nobody will engage. You're only talking at them, not talking with them. And that's I like to use this strategy of asking questions and making polls, because you can decide, I want to talk about this in this community or on my group chat, but what if that is not what they want to hear? What if that's not what interests them? Yes, you are at the point of view of the owner of the product, the owner of the app. Maybe you're a tech startup, you are the owner of the app, you are the one who you want to talk about the importance. What if they have other things they want to hear about? So you send polls to your community. What do you want to see us post the more? What do you want to hear us talk about the more? And they give you answers. And when you make those posts, they will engage because that is what interests them. So let them lead the engagement. It's as simple as you check your metrics and you check your metrics and see which post is doing well, doing better. It means your community like that one better than the other one. So focus on that part. Hear from them. Let them lead the engagement. There you begin to grow. Imagine you are living in a place where there are just vegetarians, right? And you want to start selling chicken or start selling turkey because you love it. You're not going to sell because you can't read the room. You don't understand what your community wants. But imagine you sell cucumbers, you sell carrots, you're going to be a billionaire even as a farmer because you've read the room. You let them to determine what you want to give to them. They will rush at it. Do you understand? So even in exclusive communities, let them lead the engagement. Ask them what you want to, or what you want to hear, what you want to talk about. Use welcome messages. We're happy to have you here. Tag the people so they can feel seen. Do not feel like we're just being here because they want to use us. No, give them value. Give them things to talk about. Make them feel like they are welcome truly, because they are truly welcome. So use voice notes, use live Q&A to ask questions, to get feedback from them. So keep it alive with engagement. Ask questions, celebrate wins. One of your members just bought a car, celebrate it. Maybe it's not even about cars. Your brand is not about cars, but celebrate their wins, whether big or small. Let them feel like they have a family. It can be a health tech startup. You have a group of people to talk about their mental health. I'm going through some mental fog. I'm going through some phase that I'm not so cool with. You can do anonymous questions. Okay, everybody, you have a member here who's going through something. Can you help this person out? What have you done when you were in this phase? They will use your website very well. They will use your app very well, because now you're giving them a family. Okay, so this is my own specialty, helping people to build spaces that makes them to feel seen. So do weekly check-ins. What's your win this week? This helps to boost replies, retentions. The community that talk grow, but those that go quiet, they will die. They will die. So one of the things I see as for managers is that they don't really know how to keep community alive or engaged. And this is just the answer. Let them dominate the conversation. Let them tell you what they want to hear and say what they want to hear. They make them to feel seen and heard. I think one thing I would just like to chip in here that is not in my slide is that it's very easy to, in a community, there are different kinds of people. People who are outspoken, people who like to stay silent, people who are easily intimidated. So they just like to stay at the back and watch everything. So you see some people that are just outspoken, you are tempted to want to talk to them only and leave those who are not speaking. Don't do that. Let those who are not speaking be the ones you focus on the most, because they might even be your most important clients or customers, or the ones that will talk about your brand because you brought them out of their shell. Tag them in the group. Are you okay? How can we help you? Are you enjoying this space? Are you using this app? Do you have anything for us? Can you lead the session tomorrow? Tag them. Tag them. Anyway, this is for managers, not for brands. So just thought to chip that in. No, a strong community equals free marketing, like I've always said. Happy members share wins, testimonials, and bring others. If at all I want to share a fashion brand with a friend, I would refer this lady because I'm in our community and she gives me value. She tells me how to style the clothes she sells to me for free. She tells me how to go out, with confidence. Every day she sends us VNs on you are strong, you are beautiful. Whatever it is that has to do with her brand, I'm going to stay. I'm going to go to her first, and not any other person. Example: one person tagging your brand in a group chat can lead to 3 referrals. You can have referrals for free, not even giving coupons or spending money to get people to buy your product. Just one person giving a shout out about you because you've helped them to be seen is what free marketing. Then community-driven brands grow 2 times faster. According to data and statistics, they grow 2 times faster once you have a community. We have Notion, Figma, Flutterwave, even Cowryrise. I don't know if Cowryrise is very rampant in Botswana, but Flutterwave, Cowryrise, they grow because they have a community. They hold campaigns, they hold events, live sessions, different things, right? And it helps their brand to grow. Final thoughts. This is my final slide. Networking helps people to find you. Community makes them stay. So you have to leverage on both. Network with people. Don't be alone. Search people who are ideal to you, people who you will need in your brand. I have this rule where to network on LinkedIn, I have 60% of my ideal clients, about 20% of just people who are active the many percentage of those who are doing what I'm doing because I want to also learn from you. I'm seeing your post, it's inspiring me on what to post, how to put myself down, how to place myself, positioning. I'm seeing ideal clients, I'm seeing their pain points. So you network strategically. Those who will need your expertise and those you can also give something to. That's networking. It brings them in. The community, how they feel about you, your branding makes them to stay. Because branding and community, they work hand in hand. Your brand is what they say about you when you're not there, when you're not in the room. So what do they say about you? It's how you make them feel, what you do for them. So together, they give your brand a staying power. According to data, 60% of digital entrepreneurs say their community is their biggest asset. And that is just the truth. You can ask anybody who owns a brand, even in Web3 space, they will tell you community is their biggest asset. That's what keeps them together. So growth isn't just about reach. Oh, I have a wide reach. I have people that my posts are getting to in numbers, but relationships. Whenever anything happens to you, who will check up on you? Those you have something with, a connection with, a networking with, those who are your community. Those are your people, not just people that see your content. So that'll be all from me. I hope you learned something tonight. I'm possible to deliver to my best ability, and I'm willing to get questions on what you want,
Innovative instigation.
clarity on. Thank you so much, Tapo. Thank you, everyone.
Yay! Like that was fire on fire. Ooh. I'm speaking the way you know what I'm saying now. Unfortunately, we're waiting for you to learn the pigeon part better. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it.
We're still gonna have those tutorials. That's part of our request, eh? Yeah.
That's not bad.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Precious. And we have Deborah, who is back, but we're gonna be taking questions as well, and then quick ones. And then the other thing I wanted to say to everyone is that I hope people are registering, because we've got post-summit bonuses, even from Precious. Some of our speakers have decided to put together their, things to help you to continue the conversation and go deeper. This was just for you to, sample, experience. Like we were learning from Precious about, where you're going to do beta testing. This was you doing beta testing on our side, or sampling what the speakers can do, how they can help you, how it's relevant to, the issues that are going on now. That's the whole idea of this summit as well. When we're giving you that tour, we're giving you a chance to sample and taste and think and ideate, and explore things that maybe you didn't think about as well. That's part of it. And we want you to continue the conversation, and we put together benefits, bonuses for you, and it's exclusively for those who registered. Can you see we are applying the principles? We're not just talking, we walk the talk. So if you want that, it's for the registered attendees. We can't know if you're registered if you didn't register. Like, that's just it. So then after that, we'll be continuing with the conversation with Deborah, but we're gonna take, we also want to take a little bit of a moment to just reflect on some of the things, but she's highlighted some of them. I liked how we were able to carry on because of in the network connectivity issues. One of the things that I learned from her, I've cited it in terms of applying it, as I was saying to you about our post-summit offers, that we don't want you to just register for the sake of registering. We want to continue the conversation with you. We want you to have feedback, and also what you got here, it was some sort of laying of a foundation, so it will be carrying on from what you learned, and we're able to know that you are the one, what you grasped from what you got from the different sessions. So we are wanting to even create that sense of belonging, because you are part of us, right? We are going through this reality of rising costs and AI and all these things, the tariff tariff wars that are going on and the effects of having had foreign aid being cut and people losing jobs and unemployment lines increasing, we're all living in that reality. So when we're part of these communities, for us to see how we can help each other. And that is why it's also important to register. Aside from that registration, we said there are those bonuses, and those bonuses are comprised of various things, honestly. So you can only know them once you have really joined in, so that you can find out more. Yes, we're seeing you in the comments, you are seeing us, you are viewing us, but come on in so that you can actually get more, because it has exclusive benefits, right? And then also, like she highlighted, some of the things could be the perks of you getting to see things that are before they are launched. You get to experience them before everyone. You can get things like discounts. I'm just giving examples here. You can have access to maybe some exclusive opportunity for making you more visible, because you can see that we're connecting and we're in different parts of Africa. But it can also not even just be Africa, because we're connected to people all over the world, to be quite honest. And if you want to create opportunities for yourself, you can actually get to network strategically by joining our exclusive community of attendees. So please do join it. I'm going to say exclusive community now, because we've been learning about it from Precious and also from Deborah, actually. And definitely it is secure. It is protected. We are not sharing your information anyhow, and you do have your privacy. So it's really with the interest of us seeing how we can elevate our brands and our careers and businesses, right? In the times that we're in now. It's stressful, it's uncertain, there's so much instability, it's crazy, stressful. So that's why we're here, so that we can see how we can help each other. Is that not so? So we're just looking at things holistically, and then that's it. We're now going to take a short break, very quick one, and then we're going to continue with our speakers, Yeah.
Innovative instigation.
It feels like the best of times and yet the worst of times. We are seeing it everywhere. Tariff wars, the rise of AI, unemployment issues, underemployment, and even poverty. As the situation unfolds and new obstacles hit us daily, what do we feel? More fear, frustration, and stress. And then the questions hit. How can we possibly succeed in all this? Where are the real solutions? How do we even find the right path? Building your brands, building your online presence by leveraging social media platforms. It can all seem impossible, like too much to handle. But here's the truth. The situation isn't just challenging, it is demanding. It's demanding you and me to step up and claim our unique value, to set up a digital presence that actually works, to show up authentically and connect, to stack up strategies for real growth, and ultimately to stay up strong and impactful, no matter what comes next. This is the blueprint for thriving. Are you ready to meet today's demands and conquer tomorrow? This transformative summit is completely free to attend. Don't miss out. Secure your spots for the Step Up, Set Up, Show Up, Stack Up, and Stay Up Summit.
Innovative instigation.
Hi. We are back, right back. And yes, you are welcome. This is 𝗬𝗲𝗯 of Innovative Instigation Enterprise. For those of you who are just joining us, we are continuing with day 5 of the Step Up, Set Up, Show Up, Stack Up and Stay Up Summit. And the summit is all about helping us find ways that we can elevate our brands and careers and businesses in the times that we're in, and we're doing it to looking at how we can leverage social media. All right. And so we are just about to continue with our next speaker, and she is going to give us a poem about this very matter that we're talking about. Now, how's that? Beatrice King-Konu. Oh, yes, let's give her a round of applause, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm really honored for this opportunity to do this. We've encountered lots of obstacles, but then this is the day the Lord has made. We thank God for it. And to my fellow speakers, thank you, Precious. I came in late and I heard a little bit of Precious's presentation. That was very power-packed. Thank you very much. I'm Beatrice King-Konu. I'm a physiotherapist, physical health advocate, a mentor as well. So this poetry covers almost all the topics, like the step up, set up, show up, stack up, and stay up. Yes. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you. I remember some months ago, I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who to follow. I didn't have a voice, I thought. All I did was gallivant from one space to another, consuming without giving, forgetting that there is much more blessing in giving than in receiving. I needed to hit a certain height before I can give, I thought. So when I appear, they will notice my presence, acknowledge my essence, then I can make a difference. But that is where we all got it wrong. From predatorship to followership to leadership, no one has it all figured out. Little did I know that there was a space for me, enough to speak up, a platform to step up and set up my enterprise, scaling up my little efforts gradually to stack up accolades, and eventually doing what I can do best to stay up. It is the Lord that lifts a man, but the man refusing to be lifted remains on the ground. What's in your hand? Your brand. Don't miss this chance. Take a glance. The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. You have a voice to change the world. Showing up is not a choice, it's a mandate. Go into the world. Step up. And stepping up is not pride. It is being an intentional steward. Stack up. From zero to hero, you can make figures with many zeros. Maintain your steez, bounce back, stay up every time. You have a problem to solve. Your physical space may not be enough. Blow up in the air and everyone will hear. That's the power of social media. With advancement in technology, AI is a bonus. Your voice is unique and precious, a remedial to the lost. It may seem like a ditch, but it will resonate in our minds no matter the pitch, overcome the glitch. As far as you show up, there will be somewhere to fit. Nothing is done in vain. Your audience awaits. Till when will you keep them in space, thinking and waiting for their savior, the HR professional, the health professional, the accountant, the student, the trader? Start now. Link in now. The time is tick-tocking. Show up while discovering yourself, because since primary school, we have been solving for X. When we thought we had found it, the next test asks us to find it again. Infinity may not be enough to discover yourself. You are an X being discovered. Discover as you go. Pay as you go. Take a snap of your future. Chart it in your mind. Look your face in the mirror. Streak it in a book. Legacy's worth emulating. You are the hook. Captivate us by your words and looks. Because your show up will register your name. Your step up will birth forth a niche. Your setup will attract the right gifts. Your stack up will make you trustworthy and fit. And your stay up will make you recognizable, giving more room for impact. You could be a household name too. the decision lies with you. Thank you.
Summit can be so poetic, it can be so loaded. Wow. And from our physiotherapist, she's a STEM professional. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Huh. Okay, thank you so much. Yes. And wow, I have to clap hands again. If it was possible, I'll start dancing. But anyway, it's time for us to have Deborah to continue with the conversation. So yes, can we be back now, Deborah?
Hello. Hi, I'm here.
Yay! Yes, you're back. Yeah, I would love to continue because you were telling us about community and safety and trust. Yeah. Yeah, you can continue.
All right. So I remember talking about the community being our most valuable asset. And as Precious, we spoke or reminded us that community is not just an audience, but an ecosystem. It's an existence. Everybody that surrounds you is a community. All right. So now, what is the power of your brand? What does that particular brand lie in when it comes to building a community? You can talk about your user-generated insights. You can talk about your growth organically. You can also talk about safe spaces for engagement. And I would say that if you want to go far, go with a community. If you want to go far, go with the community. All right. So quickly to a part where shows so much importance is security. Security is the language of respect. And I made mention of when we see dignitaries, diplomats in our society coming with convoys. I mean, we tend to like give so much respect to them because they tend to have so much people around them, so much security safeguards around them. All right. So now, let me break it down to layman's terms. So when it comes to security, we tend to think about things like privacy policies, giving your consent before you share personal information. All right. You can also say that you also want to be more careful about platforms you use. You want to be sure that yes, this particular platform is secure. Particular platform is it's a platform that I would love to use. So that is where we look at encrypted platforms, like normal platforms. We use Google Forms, Google Docs, Google Sheets, because we believe that okay, it's encrypted unless you decide to share your personal information. So now, sometimes you could ask yourself, would it be okay to fill that form? Would it be okay to open that website? Would it be okay to click that link? All right. So security has a lot more to do with having respect for your information, having respect for what you're giving out. All right. Good. So now, looking at our time, I would like to brush through trust as well. So trust is a daily decision. Trust is built on consistency. It's built on honoring your promises. It's built on owning your mistakes. It's also built on sending those DMs, sending those posts, sending those messages, all right? Okay, so it is not a one-time thing, but something you do consistently and intentionally, all right? Okay, so now when we talk about relationships, because earlier on I mentioned the three pillars of what building a sustainable community. That is trust, that is relationships, and what? Security. All right. So now, when we talk about relationship driving loyalty, you can talk about feedbacks. When you throw in a poll to your maybe a community group you've created, or probably a community platform, and you say, okay, please let's fill this form, let's fill this poll, let's do this. They're loyal enough to listen because you've built that trust with them. You've shown them that whatever information you're putting out there is secure. Whatever information you're giving you is what? Is personalized. They don't find their information anywhere, anyhow. You build that trust with them. You have built whatever you choose with them. You didn't just do for them to watch, but you carry them along. You show them that yes, they are actually part of you. All right. You also show them that it's not just about building your brand, but also building a community. All right. So when we also talk about relationship driving loyalty, I mean, we can also talk about showcasing your community, showcasing who they are, what they are made up of. All right. Okay. So now, trust is not just built. Trust is built. Sorry, trust is built, but not assumed. It is not, as I said, it's not a one-time thing. It's a long game. You need to cement the trust with reliability. You need to clear those doubts when you're building a community. You can decide to share a personal story with them, something that relates to them. Once in a while, send them DMs that shows concern. Share your honest responses. All right? Consistency is a silent builder of trust. The audience notice it when you only walk the talk. You show what you're doing. You don't just talk. You walk the talk. All right. So now, what are the benefits of a trust-driven community? I think Precious mentioned when you get referrals, when you're giving insights, or whatever you put out, that means they feel safe what they are giving you. They feel safe that yes, the information is at the right place. The information is well secured with you. All right. And also, we can also talk about product innovation. This improves the community. It tells them what they need. All right. It tells them what they need. It shows them what exactly you are doing. It makes them know that okay, what you're building, what you're involving in, what you're showing them, it is not a one person thing, but it's a community. Right? So trust is not just ethical, but it's profitable. So now we have a step, right? And I would like to share it with you. So that framework is very simple. Okay. So when we talk about STAIR frameworks, we can say, when we talk about STAIR frameworks, we can say it's a framework that helps you stay up true to your community. So this framework is, first of all, understanding your audience concerns. You can also say protecting their data and dignity. You can also say connecting through transparency and trust. Grow through community-powered insights. It is not just about you. It's about what? Your community. If we noticed, it is not about you, but about your community. Staying up through to your community. Understanding their concerns, understanding what disturbs them, understanding what they want, understanding what they think they need you to know, understanding what they 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 choose to share with you. Maybe not everything, but at least you build a trust where they can share a certain amount of their concerns with you. Why don't you build on it? Why don't you show them that yes, you're worth sharing that particular concern with? So now, as I said earlier, protecting their data and dignity, connecting through transparency and trust, going through community-powered insight. Hold on to this framework, it will really help you when you're trying to stay true with your community. So now, what can you do or what can you start today as someone who wants to build a community in trust, security? Where would you want to start, or how would you begin? So now, run a data collection audit. Ask questions. What does my community or what does my audience need? What are they driven by? Precious mentioned metrics, your analytics. You check through. What are they drawn to? What do they admire about my user-generated content? Send a value-centered email to them that outlines with your privacy approach. Make them feel like their information, their data is personalized. Celebrate their engagement practices on your platform. Highlight your audiences. Let them know how important they are to you. Highlight them, celebrate them. Invite users to suggest what a safe community means. You have built the trust, you have leveraged on security. Now, show them what a safe community is. That is how to start. All right. So I think this is where I summarize everything. So now, I believe we can hold on to these three things. The forces that would build sustainable brands. So those forces, security. Security is creating environments where people feel safe in. Your trust. Be someone people believe in and return to. And thirdly, your relationships. Build real human connections over transactions. You don't have to sell everything. Sometimes, or should I even say this? I think I came across a post one time and I said, and that person said, sometimes free knowledge brings a lot more than you think. Free knowledge actually brings a lot more. It comes with publicity, it comes with referrals, it comes with reviews, it comes with a lot. Most of the times, people tend to feel like if I sell my knowledge, if I sell my time, that is where people believe that, okay, I'm trustworthy. But no, it doesn't work like that. Be real with your connections. Build that trust. Let them feel safe around you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I think this is where I end my presentation. Thank you.
Each of us wonderful speakers, one question, and then we're closing off. So, yes, since you are here, Deborah, I'm seeing you. Okay, everyone is here. I'll start with Deborah, because you just finished off now. So, okay. If somebody is beginning their journey, of building a personal brand, how would you suggest, from your take of, trust and, security and all of that, how does one start building consistency?
Okay, so from my end, let me use myself for instance. So my brand began from knowing what I actually wanted. What did you want? What do you want? What do you want to go in? Right? Then it started from the zeal to do more. So now you know what you want. How do you want people to know that you are good at what you do? How do people know that okay, this is what you're actually doing? So I tend to put myself in a position where I don't feel like I am not enough. I don't feel like I don't fit in. I tend to just put out content for people to know that okay, this is my beginning. This is where I started from. This is how far I've gone, and this is what I want to get involved in. And funny enough, I was reached out to by somebody. It wasn't a paid opportunity. It was actually a volunteer opportunity. But what it did for me is it recycled, it just changed my life in terms of I became so consistent because I was open to learn. Even though, even though it did not really channel to what I really wanted to do. But I tend to know that opening up to learn and know or get into the particular field where I have to do something every day, consistently every day, made me know that then this particular thing I really want to do, I can do it. If I'm able to channel my energy to this particular thing I was reached out for, then why don't I channel that same energy into something I want to do? So, first of all, what did I want? I knew what I wanted. Secondly, I was open to being consistent at something. After that, I realized that I could channel that consistency to something that I love, something that I want to do. So right after that, after channeling that energy to what I wanted to do, it was very easy to build a brand because I'd already learned how to do something consistently, show up for people, let people know that okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So doing something that is so personal to me was made very easy because I was first of all I was intentional about what I was doing. Even before I started something I love, I was very intentional. I was very consistent about it. But in that process, I feel that process was like a testing process to know that okay, can I do this task well? If yes, I can do it so well, then I can start up something that I really love. So I feel I was open to learn, yes. So I was open to learn something. Right after that, I was able to say, okay, then I can actually dedicate or divert that energy into something that I really want to do.
So
So I think,
in essence, you're saying
okay,
at the heart of it,
okay,
it must be driven by doing what you love, because
yes,
that's what's going to fuel the consistency. You can commit to it, and you it will also guide or inform clarity in terms of what exactly how to go about it and all these other things. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
thank you.
Now, thank you so much, Deborah. Now I'd like to ask our poet and physiotherapist, Beatrice, her question. What should someone believe, or how would you want someone to believe? What would you want someone to believe, right? For them to know that there's actually space for them in this very crazy times of uncertainty and all of that, so that they can actually build a brand that makes impact and transforms lives.
Thank you very much. So I think there's a space for everyone. There's a space for everyone, no matter the field you are or whatever is in your mind. There's a space to be filled, and so you just have to set up. I actually I'm doing my masters, and then I wanted to, after being taught some things, I was like, okay, let me go and read further. And I went online, I searched it, and it came up so beautifully. I was like, oh, okay. So there are billions of people in this world, and everyone has a need. So no matter what your expertise or what your brand is, there's definitely going to be people who will need it. You only need to position yourself well, and then, as Deborah and Precious said earlier, you just have to leverage on the right skills in whatever you need. I'm sure we've also learned how to set up and step up in previous days. So you just only have to apply them, because there's a space, or just believe it, that there is a space for you. There's whichever space, health, HR, tech, in AI, everything, there is a space. You only need to incorporate the trend wisely to be able to stay up. Thank you very much.
All that, like just how you leveraging your poetry. You're not just looking at the technical aspect that, okay, you're a physiotherapist and all of that, right? So yeah, thank you so much, Precious. Now it's your turn. Thank you so much. I meant to say thank you so much, Beatrice. We are now going to Precious to ask her the last question. And the question for you, Precious, is that, okay, what are two things that brands can do to create a sense of belonging?
Okay. Well, how many things?
Two things. Two key things that brands can do to create a sense of belonging.
Can do to create a sense of belonging. Okay. It depends on the area that you belong to, right? Everybody loves to feel seen and heard. So if you create events that would bring together people of shared interests, shared goals, and shared values, they would feel seen. Sorry, is that the question you asked? How do you make them feel seen, right?
That make people to, in fact, brands to feel, to create a sense of belonging, basically. Yeah, I was making notes on what you're saying.
Okay. The first thing is going to be events. Events can never be overemphasized. Create events that would talk to them personally. Bringing back to the fresh brand I talked about again, just imagine, alongside sending voice notes of how to show up with confidence when you buy clothes from her, there are events. Campaigns, right? And let them lead the campaigns. Reach out to any of them, probably just somebody who has bought from you once or twice. We appreciate what you do. We appreciate you buying from us. Would you like to partner with us in doing this or that? They will feel so, oh my goodness, I only bought from you and now you want me to partner with you, probably doing a campaign, reaching out to people or doing what, this or that. So two things are very important you can use to bring people on board and make them to have a sense of belonging is through creating events that speak to them directly and helping and making them to collaborate with you on one or two campaigns. So these are two ways I know that community leverage to make people feel like they belong to what you are doing. Thank you so much.
Tour, so that they can see that it is possible for them to elevate, that they do belong. And even though the times are uncertain and it's all, crazy, stressful, and a whole lot of other things, but, they belong. We're part of an African continent. We're part of a global economy. And there's so much possibility. Even though all of this is happening, we managed to meet, we managed to collaborate. Even right now, that's what we're doing, to bring value, to showcase what's possible, give perspective, give inspiration. We shared strategies and all of that. And so on that note, this is 𝗬𝗲𝗃 of Innovative Instigation Enterprise. I'm so grateful for having our tour guides for today. That was Deborah, that was Precious, that was Beatrice, and yes, Beatrice and Deborah are joining us from Ghana, and Precious is joining us from Nigeria, while 𝗬𝗲𝗃 is flying the two flags. One, the Botswana flag, two, Eswatini flag. And I'm streaming live from Eswatini right now, and we are so glad to have had you. We don't take anything for granted. Thank you for all of you guys, our speakers, even our attendees, for joining us. We know that it's not easy. It's a Friday, but it's also about you investing in yourself. We're connecting you with opportunities and possibilities by showing you what you can do in these uncertain times that we are navigating through. And so we'll see you tomorrow. We still have other sessions to go with our panelists. So we're looking forward to that. And thank you so much for joining us. Good night. Bye-bye. Woo! Just you for yourself for staying this far.
Feels like the best of times and yet the worst of times. We are seeing it everywhere. Tariff wars, the rise of AI, unemployment issues, underemployment, and even poverty. As the situation unfolds and new obstacles hit us daily, what do we feel? More fear, frustration, and stress. And then the questions hit. How can we possibly succeed in all this? Where are the real solutions? How do we even find the right path? Building your brands, building your online presence by leveraging social media platforms. It can all seem impossible, like too much to handle. But here's the truth. The situation isn't just challenging, it is demanding. It's demanding you and me to step up and claim our unique value, to set up a digital presence that actually works, to show up authentically and connect, to stack up strategies for real growth, and ultimately to stay up strong and impactful, no matter what comes next. This is the blueprint for thriving. Are you ready to meet today's demands and conquer tomorrow? This transformative summit is completely free to attend. Don't miss out. Secure your spots for the Step Up, Set Up, Show Up, Stack Up, and Stay Up Summit.
Innovative instigation.